Hello, I'm John, and I've just returned from a cruise on the Oasis of the Seas by Royal Caribbean, and I wanted to do a little review on how that went and the good parts and the bad parts. So basically, I would say I had a pretty good cruise. Um, Talking about some of the good things. First of all, Oasis of the Seas is the biggest cruise ship in the world, and I have been on 18 cruises once before with the Royal Caribbean, a lot of cruises with Carnival, Princess, and Norwegian. So that's the context I'm speaking in. I'm 64 years old, so I guess my review might be different than someone at a younger age. Anyways, I was curious to see the how they would make use of all the extra space they talk about. First of all, when parked alongside of the other cruise ships, they do not appear to be that much longer in length, but they are certainly wider in length. And my evaluation is that they make very good use of that extra space in the following ways. First of all, the pool deck was never crowded compared to some of the other cruise lines I've been on, even during the at sea days. And I think that's largely due to the pool deck is there's a couple of different pools on either side, and they seem to make use of the front and the back end. Specifically, on the front end, they have a place called the solarium where it's adult only, but rather than it being too windy on the front, they've got it covered in, or mostly covered in with glass, which means that there was a breeze flowing through there, but not so windy that you couldn't be there. So, very nice environment, and pleased with that. The wider ship allows them to have a very wide Central Park and promenade area, and with that they were able to offer lots of wide open spaces and shops, specialty shops, and so on. And I guess the real test on it was the very large ship. I was curious to see how they were going to do for boarding and disembarking, and in both cases I thought that bigger ship, even though they were dealing with 5,000 passengers, so quite a bit more than normal, I thought they dealt with it better than my experiences with other cruise lines. Getting on board was a lot better because they started boarding people early in the morning and put them in a holding area until the ship was ready to receive passengers, and then we were allowed to go on the ship about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning, and just hang out in the promenade. So even though the rooms weren't ready, that was still kind of nice to do that. So that's a good feature about the Oasis of the Sea. Speaking about the entertainment was very good, and I would say not the best I've seen, but they offered a pretty good variety, and they combined in a couple of different shows both aerial acrobats and gymnasts. In the pool show, some of those same people were working with the high divers and the synchronized swimmers. And so they made good use of very talented people in different shows. So I was pretty well pleased with that. The Broadway show they offered was Cats. I don't think it was a very good choice myself. A lot of people aren't that keen on it, although it is a very famous long-running show. So not as good as some of the Broadway shows that I've seen on other cruise lines. However, they offered a good variety of comedy and music venues with small bands and so on throughout the ship. So pretty good. I guess my bad experience was really with the dining rooms. First of all, the buffet was actually quite good as any I've seen for food variety and so on. So the environment, the room itself was pretty good. However, they're still using the old pick 6 o'clock or 8:30 for your dining room experience, and I'm not too keen on that having to be stuck in the same time slot all the time. Although that's kind of the traditional dining experience with cruising. They also offer the my time dining, which means you can go when you want. But one night I wanted to have dinner at 6 o'clock instead of 8:30, and when I showed up and asked for that, they scolded me, saying I was supposed to be up on the ship at 8:30. So I found that those experiences to be not too pleasant, and not too keen on that compared to the likes of Norwegian, where they offer dining room experiences anytime you want to go if you're prepared to stand in line a little bit. The other experience I had that was not so good was I found, or on the TV station in the room, the marketing staff rave about how wonderful their cruise line is compared to everybody else. In reality, they're quite good at a lot of things, but they are not the best at everything, that's for sure. So I found that there was a kind of an arrogance in their sales pitch that way. And in the dining room on the final night, we were coached on how to complete the customer satisfaction survey to the point of being badgered. And I didn't think that was a very good experience. Then they went on to conduct a sales rally, which was designed entirely to make us believe that we had a wonderful dining room experience. And, I really don't appreciate being told how I think. And again, we were kind of pushed into giving them a good evaluation or making sure that they were heavily tipped. So, of all the cruise line experiences I had, that was the worst in that way. The best part is if you don't like it when it comes to that part, just walk out of the dining room. So overall, I would certainly recommend Oasis of the Seas because it is a great ship offering a variety of different venues and dining experiences and so on, and good entertainment. So I would recommend it that way. I will not cruise with them next time round because I enjoy the variety and not too keen on the way they do the dining anyways. But that's my summation of it. So keep shopping around and find the best deal, and pick a cruise ship based on what timing suits you well and what ports suit you well. And certainly Royal Caribbean is a good one too, although they're not the best as they would lead you to believe. So that's just one guy's opinion. Have fun.